Hello, good evening, Elvis fans, and welcome to tonight's edition of TCB Radio Network on Facebook Live. My name is Krista Joy. I'm your founder here at TCB Radio Network, and we are celebrating the life and memory of Elvis Presley with a mission to share his legacy with the world. Tonight, I am so excited. Are you guys excited? We have on tap for you some big announcements about exciting changes here at TCB Radio Network. I think you're going to love them. This day in Elvis history, that's right, Peter Alden has produced another fantastic, wonderful video for you this day in Elvis history video. And to top it all off, we have part one and a video of our fantastic interview with recording artist, author, and friend to Elvis Presley, the one and only dynamic Don Wilson. So that's coming up as well. But first, I want to ask you if you get a moment to share the video. I see so many beautiful faces popping in. Hi, Tabitha. Hey, Sissy. Hello, Michael. Hi, Peter Alden is here in the comments, and Linda's here as well. Good evening, everybody. Please share the video. And first, we're going to kick it off with our intro video like we do every week. So here it goes. All right. Hey, I see Brandon is here, and Maria's here from Canada. What's up? And Don Wilson is also watching live tonight. How fun. So you guys, if you have questions during his interview, he's actually watching live with us. Just type them in, and he can answer you via the chat. So how fun is that? Only on Facebook Live. So, all right, so I thought I would kick it off tonight with our super exciting TCB Radio Network news. So here it is. So here at TCB Radio Network, as you know, our official mission statement and tagline since day one has been that we are celebrating the life and memory of Elvis Presley with a mission to share his legacy with the world. As y'all know, we are an unofficial fan site. We are not affiliated with Elvis Presley Enterprises in any way. Our passion is to provide you with Elvis-related content that's exciting and fresh for today. But, of course, you can't celebrate Elvis today without remembering the times of yesterday. And this is why we are also focusing on additional content that will educate everyone, all of us, and bring us back to the historical days when Elvis was not just in our hearts, but also alive and well here on Earth. And we are bringing you the stories of the people that knew him. People we have had on the show as our special guests already include great folks such as his close friend and spiritual mentor, Larry Geller, Elvis's first national fan club president, Kay Wheeler, Elvis's personal nurse, Marion Koch, of course, and tonight, his friend, Don Wilson. So this stuff you already know. But tonight, we are pleased to announce we made some updates on how you can get your Elvis fix with the help of TCB Radio Network. Our ultimate goal since day one was to bring you all this awesome Elvis content in several ways so that you can choose your favorite and we can meet you wherever you are. So, TCB Radio Network is officially a multimedia platform. We have a blog, we have social media for you, we have videos for you. Printed works are coming soon. We have a regular live broadcast on Facebook, and now we are stepping up and adding to all of that fantastic new formatted podcast. So, for those of you that don't know, okay, so what we're on right now, this is Facebook Live. And the benefit of Facebook Live, of course, is audio visual. We can show you videos and pictures. You can interact with us live. A podcast is actually audio only. It's only something you're going to hear. And podcasts can be found, if you have an Apple product, you can find podcasts on iTunes with your phone. You just go in the App Store, download the podcast app, and a world of podcasts will open up to you. You can search for TCB Radio as one of them. And that's what a podcast is. You listen to it on your phone. Or I think you can get iTunes on your computer as well. I'm not sure. If you have an Apple computer, I would imagine that you can. Now, tonight, as of tonight and right now, our podcast is only on Apple products. So if you have an Android phone or something like that, you won't be able to get our podcast yet. But it is coming. We're going to be on Stitcher. We're going to be on Google Play. It's going to be on all the platforms. Right now, you can only catch our podcast on Apple products. If you've listened to our podcast before and it's podcast form, let me know. Put it in the comments. I'd love to know if you've ever taken the time to look up the podcast. Or if you're just here with us on Facebook Live every week, that's great too. Now, so that's the difference between Facebook Live and a podcast, okay? Podcasts are audio only. Facebook Live, of course, is live and interactive. As of tomorrow, April 25th, in addition to Facebook Live, so don't get me wrong, Facebook Live isn't going anywhere. We're still going to be here every Tuesday right here, just like you're used to getting us. We're not going anywhere. But in addition to our Facebook Live, TCB Radio Network can now be found on iTunes in podcast form. Now, this is kind of new information, but kind of not, because you may have caught our podcast before now over on iTunes, and basically what we've always had is just a recording of our Facebook Live interviews that were transported over to iTunes. But now, starting with our fantastic Don Wilson interview, instead of being just a rebroadcast of Facebook Live, our show on podcast form is going to be a unique facet, and it's going to be a new way for you to get even more Elvis. The podcast is going to be a central place that you can catch all of our special guest interviews. Now, just like always, TCB Radio podcast episodes will be available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, absolutely free of charge on TCBRadioNetwork.com, iTunes, and other locations on the web that are being added. You will be able to tune in whenever it's most convenient for you. We are lining up so many celebrities, authors, Elvis fan club presidents, artists, musicians, and more. Our thanks goes out to Lee Douglas of Old Time Rock and Roll for being our audio engineer and helping to make all of this possible. So what does this mean? Well, you'll still want to catch Facebook Live each and every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, because this and the rebroadcast of it that we put on our YouTube channel will be the only place you can catch our This Day in Elvis History segments. That's right, because of the video and the robustness of it, we'll only be doing those on Facebook Live. And the Facebook Live will also contain our guest interviews, but they will be broken up into parts. So normally our guest interviews will have 2 parts spread out over 2 weeks of Facebook Live. So tonight, that's why you're going to get your first half of your Don Wilson interview tonight on Facebook Live, and your second half will be on Facebook Live next week. And it's super cool to catch it on Facebook Live because Peter Alden enhances these interviews with really cool video and picture, and you'll see what I mean in just a minute. So you'll want to catch them in both places. Now, where did I leave off? We will also sometimes have special video segments that you won't get on the podcast because podcasts are only audio. So tonight, you're getting some bonus content because you're here with us on Facebook Live. We've got a really cool extra little video of Don Wilson that we found in the archives. And Mindy's here. Hi, Mindy. Good to see you. Mindy, you get mentioned early in Don's interview, so be sure you're watching all the way through. Now, over at the podcast on iTunes, you'll be able to catch extra news and information that we won't broadcast on Facebook Live, and you'll get your celebrity interviews all in one episode. Super cool. So, I hope all of this makes sense. So basically what I'm trying to tell you guys is nothing's changing here on Facebook Live Tuesday nights. What we've done is we've added and enhanced the podcast version of our show. So I'm going to be making a video soon to kind of help you figure out what a podcast is and explain more about that if you're not already familiar, and how you can tune in to our audio version of the show, because you won't want to miss it. There's going to be extra stuff that we're not doing here on Facebook Live. And you'll be able to get your celebrity interviews all in at one time, where with Facebook Live, we're breaking them up over 2 episodes. So let me know if I can clear up any. If you have any questions or anything, you're welcome to email us. If you don't understand, if I've lost you, that's okay. It took me a long time to understand this too. Peter and I have been planning this for months, and I kept asking him, now, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? And he was getting so frustrated with me. But finally today, it all sunk in. So Robin Bell is here for the first time ever. Yay! We love first-time listeners. Everybody say hi to Robin. Type hi in the comments to Robin. Sissy says, hi, Krista and Peter. It gets better and better. Oh, thank you so much. That's what we're hoping to do. Bring you more stuff in more ways. We're excited that you're excited. So Maria says, show the Elvis video. Quit talking. All right. Well, before we get to the Elvis video, I want to bring you some Elvis news really quick. What are we doing? What's happening? So I just have one little piece of cool Elvis news I wanted to share with you guys. So today I found this on Google. Just to let you know, a rare poster from Elvis Presley's 1955 North Carolina concert sold for double the expected price this month. A rare vintage poster, again, 1955 Elvis Presley show in Raleigh. And that's what it was from, and it is believed to be the only poster of its kind in existence, and it fetched a ton of money this month. I love these kind of stories because people are like, aren't Elvis fans dying out, and you know, things like that. No, not at all. We're bigger and better and stronger than ever. We're paying small fortunes for Elvis memorabilia to this day. So here we go. Bidding had opened at $5,000, and the final price far exceeded everyone's expectations. Most thought it would only fetch maybe $20,000. The poster is from May 19th, 1955. It's the only known copy in existence for one of Elvis Presley's earliest concerts, and was for sale through Heritage Auctions Entertainment Auction. Elvis performed at the City Auditorium in Raleigh, North Carolina as part of a Grand Ole Opry All-Star Jamboree. And this poster is unique because you'll see it. I'm going to show you guys another benefit of watching on Facebook Live. I'll be able to show you this video, this poster, so you can take a look at it. You'll see top billing is given to Frank Snow, Farron Young, and a whole bunch of other people. But because his career had not really started yet, you're going to see Elvis's name way down close to the bottom. So that's what made it so rare, and they're saying it's the only one of its kind in existence. And so somebody paid over $42,000 for this poster. So let me see if I can find it, and I'll pull it up on my screen here so you guys can see it. Maybe I can get it to work. So this is just an image of the poster that this week somebody paid over $42,000 for this poster, and the person that bought it remains anonymous, but it's somebody from California. So pretty cool, right? And then right after I show you guys the poster, so you can take a look at it, if it ever pops up, we're going to go right into our interview with the amazing Don Wilson. who was someone who knew Elvis, got to meet him quite often in his younger years, and has some wonderful stories to share. And we also found some great video of Don as well, so you got to hang in there, and it will show you the first half of the interview, and then next week we hope you'll come back to watch the second half of Don Wilson's interview, because it's all really, really good. So I'm still trying to pull up the photo for you guys. So let me say hi to some people while we're at it. Lucy's here. Hello, Lucy. She says Elvis sings in heaven. I think that's absolutely right. Jess Wade Johnson is here. Hi, Diana. Courtney's here. Tabitha, Carrie Self. Hello. And if I missed you, it's just because the letters are really small. Okay, so here's the picture of the poster. You ready for this? Kind of cool. Here it is. Ta-da! So you can see at the top it says All-Star Jamboree in person, starring Hank Snow in really big letters. And then you go all the way down, way past about 10 other people, and you'll see Elvis's name right here. So pretty cool. It's amazing to think that somebody paid $42,500 for this poster. Pretty cool. Wish I had that kind of spending cash. It's pretty exciting. All right. So, who else? Maureen's here. Hello. Okay, so now we're queuing up the video, our fantastic interview with the dynamic Don Wilson. Oh, we're not doing that yet? We're doing Today in Elvis History now. Sorry. I'm learning this new format, you guys. I'm going to get it eventually. Okay, so here we go. This Day in Elvis History, produced by your friend and mine, Peter Alden. Sherry wants to know if since the buyer was from California, could it have been Mindy Miller? That's too cute. Okay, here's the video. This Day in Elvis History. Here you go, guys. We'll be in the comments. You can say hi to us.
Hey everybody, this is Pete, back with you from my super secret bunker underneath the brick and steel of a nondescript building so that I can always remain safe, making sure I bring you Today in Elvis History. Today, April 24th, was actually a very busy day for Elvis in his career. We're going to start first off in 1955. Elvis was in Houston, Texas, and performed 2 shows. That afternoon, he was at the Magnolia Gardens Theater in Houston. And that evening, he moved on over to the Cook's Hoedown Club, completing his 2-show day back on April 24th, 1955. Moving up to 1973, Elvis performed at the Anaheim Convention Center in Anaheim, California at 8:30 p.m. The crowd was 8,500. Elvis wore the Thunderbird suit with its original belt and a blue cape. Another interesting note, that particular night, Lisa Marie was in attendance in the audience. I'm sure a thrill for Elvis that night. Moving on to 1975, on April 24th, Elvis performed at the Coliseum in Macon, Georgia at 8:30 p.m. The crowd was 10,242, and Elvis wore the navy blue 2-piece suit with the blue armadillo. No belt tonight, but a light blue shirt. Interesting note for this show, Jerry Scheff returned on bass for the first time in 2 years. I was able to find both audio and video from this show. The thing is, the video, the sound quality on that was pretty terrible. So I've used the video, and I'm pairing it with some audio that I found from that same show of Elvis singing "Promised Land," a song that you don't get to hear him sing live too often. from April 24th, 1975. So this is from the show in Macon, Georgia. Elvis singing Promised Land.
Downtown Birmingham. They ride away upon me through train tickets right across Mississippi clean. And I was on that midnight flyer out of Birmingham smoking a New Orleans. So somebody help me get out of Louisiana, just help me get to Houston town. There's the people there who care a little about me and they won't let the poor boy down. Take it on, man. Born and bought me a silk suit, put luggage in my hand. I woke up high over Albuquerque on a jet to the promised land. Now working on a T-bone steak, on the cardi flying over to the Golden State. When the pilot told us in 13 minutes, he was set us in the terminal gate. I let the swing low chariot come down, easy taxi to the terminal zone. Cut your windows and cool your wings and let me make it to the telephone. Los Angeles, you ain't all for Virginia, time for war 1009. Never folks back home, it's in the promised land calling and the poor boys on the line. One more time. Working on a T-bone steak on the cardi flying over to the Golden State. When the pilot told us in 13 minutes he would set us at the terminal gate. Let us swing the old chariot, come down, easy taxi to the terminal zone. Cut your engines and cool your wings and let me make it to the telephone. Los Angeles, you may Norfolk, Virginia, Tidewater, 1409. Tell the folks back home, this is the promised land calling and the poor boys on the line. Yo.
All right, moving on to 1976, April 24th. Elvis performed at the San Diego Sports Arena in San Diego, California at, yes, you guessed it, 8:30 p.m. Elvis was apparently really enjoying the 8:30 p.m. start time. Anyway, the crowd was 17,500, and Elvis wore the blue Egyptian bird suit with its original belt.
Ooh, 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 I'll feel my temperature rising. Please, won't you help me? Must be 109. Burning, 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 and nothing can cool me.
1977, on April 24th, Elvis performed at the Chrysler Arena in Ann Arbor, Michigan, at his favorite starting time, apparently, of 8:30 p.m. The crowd was 12,000, and Elvis did a little throwback tonight. He wore the 1974 Arabian suit with its original belt. An interesting note for this one: Unchained Melody and Little Darlin' were recorded during this show. Those were two songs that were included on Elvis Moody Blue, his last RCA release during his lifetime. So those two songs were recorded at this show on April 24th, 1977.
Little Darlin'. hands to draw my own, to hold in mine your little foot, my hand. Do something, woman. Don't just stand there. Hold my hand. My dear, I was wrong. Without you, and my love was just all you. Thank you very much. You're a fantastic audience, ladies and gentlemen. And anytime you want us back, just call us and we'll come back.
And that's it for this day in Elvis history, April 24th. Hope you've enjoyed it. We're going back to Krista Joy now, live on TCB Radio. I am Peter Alden. Until next week, thank you. Thank you very much.
Elvis,
All right. Okay, did you like that? Oh, I should have turned the light on. I'm all fuzzy. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Another fantastic This Day in Elvis History video brought to you by your friend and mine, Peter Alden. I'm looking to see, I see some more people here. They're popping up on my screen. I want to say hi to Patricia Sperry. She's in Michigan, of her home state, and she loves Elvis. Thank you, Patricia, so much for watching. We appreciate you being here. Jennifer Klein is here. And it looks like Don Wilson and Mindy are still here too. So you guys be sure and say hello to them in the comments. Mindy Miller, of course, fantastic entertainer in her own right, actress, former stunt woman, and former girlfriend of Elvis. She wears a shirt that says she kissed Elvis. She really did. Okay, so now it's time for our interview with Don Wilson. So here we go. Here we're going to start it now. Don Wilson has been a Hollywood insider for over 20 years. Tony Curtis himself has said that Don has his pulse on the pulse of Hollywood. Don first met Elvis Presley at the age of 9, and in later years, he was able to visit Elvis every now and then. Not only did Elvis call Don a friend of his, but many of his inner circle did as well. He's a contributing author to a book called Blue Suede Shoes, The Culture of Elvis, written by Tom Gilbert. Don is also a recording artist, and he has been a production consultant on many video and book projects. He's the former senior vice president of the Southern California Motion Picture Council. He was an executive award presenter. And in 2014, Don was awarded the Golden Halo Nomination Excellence Award from the Southern California Motion Picture Council. And right now, where it seems everyone is talking about Elvis the Searcher, Don has a unique perspective because he was a production consultant for the Definitive Elvis DVD series. He arranged and conducted hundreds of interviews for the 16-hour series. It's even listed in the Guinness Book of World Records as the longest documentary ever produced. This seems like it might be the longest introduction ever produced. He has so many accolades. You can visit Don at facebook.com/Elvis Presley Network and Don Wilson's HollywoodBeat.com. Don Wilson, welcome to the show. Thanks for being with us today.
well, hello there, Krista. It's always nice to talk to you.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming back on. You were our very first interview on TCB Radio Network way back in September of 2017, and we're just delighted to have you back to tell more Elvis stories today.
It's always great to talk about E. And also, I can't. Did I do all that? All the stuff that you?
I don't know. There's probably a bunch of.
Yes, I remember all that.
I left something out that we should probably open the show with. You are a manager for the beautiful, talented Mindy Miller. And so I just want you to have a chance to talk about her a little bit and how she's available for booking.
Yeah, she is available for bookings, and you can contact me. Just go to the website, www.donwilsonshollywoodbeat.com. And Mindy's got a page there, and there's a contact information, a section there, and you can, if you're interested, just contact me, and I'll make sure to talk it over with Mindy and so forth, because, obviously we can't give, her personal information on the air.
Right. Well, you're so busy, and that's just another facet to what you do. We love Mindy. We've had her on the show several times, so our audience is very familiar with her, and we'll definitely put you in contact if we hear from somebody that needs a speaking engagement from Mindy.
Oh, yeah. I love Mindy. So many of the fans do, and I talked to her quite a while, several years ago, about getting on the Facebook, and she finally got on. A couple of her friends, I think, talked her into it. But anyway, now she's met so many fans, from all countries that you can imagine, all over the world, and they just love her. And she's about the most down to earth, sweet gal that you'd ever want to meet.
She really is. We love her to death. Well, we wanted, now on the last show, we talked briefly about how your Elvis story began, because you were very young. So maybe briefly, if you would for me, just tell everybody about how it all started in 1970 when you were just 9 years old.
Yeah, coming to meet Elvis at the Astroworld Hotels where I first met him. I didn't really know we were going to go see him, because at that time, the rodeo was, touting all of the different names, like there was Buck Owens and Roy Clark. They were really hot on Hee Haw at the time. And I really wanted to go see them because I thought the Hee Haw girls were going to show up. Of course they didn't. But Bobby Goldsboro, and then there was Elvis. And then, my father told me, he says, we're going to go see Elvis. And not only that, he'd arranged it to where I could go backstage with him. And it's the first time that I met Colonel Parker, Joe Esposito, and, you go down the chain of command, and there's Elvis, Make a long story short, he said, I am Elvis Presley, like I didn't know. And I told him my name, I had my album of clam bake, of all things, that I brought to him, and he said, man, you like this album? And I said, yes, I do. And he said, well, Guitar Man, Big Boss Man, there's some good songs in this album. And, anyway, he tousled my hair a little bit, and, was just so genuine and nice, and I was nervous when I first met him, but Elvis had this way of just putting you at ease. And we saw a couple of his shows there, and I first met Priscilla, there at the Astrodome at that time. So, I can think of it, and it's like yesterday, but I can't believe how long ago it really was. And, when then seeing Elvis, just electrify the Astrodome with the tens of thousands that were there, they're screaming their heads off, There was one little incident there where they had a little run through. Now, I wasn't at this particular time with Elvis, but Cliff Gleaves, one of Elvis's buddies, was. And when Elvis was supposed to go around in a Dodge pickup truck, which he did later, and wave to all the fans, Cliff Gleaves told Colonel Parker, there's this, it was like a pole or something that was obstructing, when they had it set up for the livestock show or what have you. And the Colonel said, well, what about it? He says, if Elvis goes right by and hits that, knock his head off. And Colonel said, you're right. And so he had somebody come and cut that portion off there. So Cliff was pretty smart. Not a lot of people know who Cliff Gleaves was, but that's a whole show in itself. But a lot of memories come back to me. So you triggered me, Krista. You asked me briefly. Well, that was the next year, and saw him in Dallas on November 13th. Yep. And my father was with me, of course, and we were talking Western trivia, and for us, or Roy Rogers and so forth. And Elvis, my dad, had this thing, about the old West movies and stuff, Western stars and so forth. And then Elvis looks at me and said, "How do you know all about this stuff?" He said, "You're not old enough." And I said, "Saturday mornings." Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, we saw him briefly, just did a little bit of that, and then watched the show. And then 8 days later, my parents and sister were killed. It was a train that hit them head on, and so I lost my family. And then I wrote to Elvis and told him about it. I got a condolence card a little bit later on because he was on the road or something. But then I saw him in San Antonio in '72. And that, as I think of it chronologically, I can remember things. It's just well, I'll tell you what he did. Except Joe Esposito arranged it to where I, go see him, and he hugged me, and he told me, he said, "I know how difficult it is to lose your family, but as a great philosopher said, I forgot it. You have to freeze it just a second." It said, as a great philosopher once said, to live in the hearts that we leave behind is not to die. That's what he said. Mm-hmm. And I had to think about it for a minute. It's been so long ago. My aunt wrote it down, and that's how I was able to remember it. But yeah, Elvis was, after that, I'd see him 5 minutes, 10 minutes here, and eventually, got to go and see him at Graceland.
So, and how much longer was that? Was there a big gap in time between, or when did you first see him at Graceland?
It was around 74. Mm-hmm. And, of course, seeing Elvis at Graceland, there's another chain of command, too. There's Vester, and he'd call up to the house or whatever. And then Harold Lloyd, he was, but he was my next door neighbor a few years later. But anyway, go up to see Elvis, and he was having some fans around him. He came less and less to sign, but there was this one instance where he was there was a stump, a tree stump at Graceland, and he had his foot propped up there, and he was signing autographs on his knee. And to show you Elvis's sense of humor, one girl came up to Elvis and said, "Elvis, can I kiss you on your stump?" And he says, "Honey, if you can find it, go ahead."
And then was it not too soon after that when Richard Davis wrecked his car? Well, first let's go back and explain who Richard Davis is for people that don't know.
Well, yeah, because we can go on for hours and talk about these things. People say, "Who? What? Where?" Richard was one of the first guys around Elvis that I had met. And he left Elvis because of a pinched nerve in his neck, or his upper back, that is. But anyway, it seemed like Richard was always doing stuff for Elvis in the middle of the night or something, even sometimes when he wasn't on the payroll. But anyway, Richard, 9 times out of 10, would drive a girlfriend or someone that he's seen home. Elvis rarely did that. So driving Elvis's, I believe he was driving his stunts, and he drove this girl home. But outside of her apartment was like this metal bar, like right where the parking area is, and Richard bumped into that and damaged the front end of Elvis's car. And then so he's like, "Oh man, oh great." So he goes in, and Elvis is sitting there watching TV, and Richard says, "Elvis," he said, I got to tell you something." He said, "Don't bring me down, man." He said, if it catches up a tree or something, I don't want to know. I'm in a good mood. And he says, "About your car." "My car? What do you mean my car?" And he said, he explained it, and he came out and he said, "Oh, that's nothing to it. Don't worry about it."
Oh, shoot. Dodged the bullet on that one.
Yeah.
And then Richard Davis disappeared, and no one's heard from him since.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Richard told me, I wasn't here for this, but Richard told me that Elvis would read the paper on like Sundays or whenever the ads for sales and stuff would come out. And Elvis was like anyone else, There's a sale at Kmart. He said, "Well, I want you to." He made a list up. I want you to get 5 of these for so and so, 5 of these for so and so, and what have you. And here's my credit card. And so Richard would go down there and say, "I want this. Why do you want so much?" He said, "Oh, it's for Elvis." Well, he brought it back. Elvis looked at the receipt. He said, "That's not sale price." He said, "Go back and tell them that I want it at sale price," he said. And he said, "I don't want them to take advantage of me just because,
right.
of my name."
Yeah.
And so anyway, Richard did it. And he said, "Look, Elvis says that you give him the sale price or you take it all back." So they had to gave him the sale price. But that's just like Scatter, you saw him on Bill Killeberg's TV show. He said, "I want that guy." He got Scatter, the
chimpanzee, yeah.
Right.
So the rumors are true. Elvis was a fan of the Kmart Blue Light Special.
Well, yeah, but he was not able to actually be at Kmart.
Right.
What you do about him?
Right.
Right, Peter. Right.
So he said, "Go get me that chimp I saw on TV." And
right, yeah. Bill Killeberg was a guy. Of course, this is before the time that I was ever around Elvis, and he had this car to where it looked like Scatter was driving it. But of course, the actual driver, Bill, was right behind him, but it would turn a lot of heads in Memphis,
I heard about that.
But I get Richard, and even Charlie Hodge, and they said, "Tell me about Scatter," because that was before my time. And they said the Scatter would, pull the girls' dresses up and everything, and hide into the shower, and the girls come into the bathroom, steal their jewelry. Hide it underneath the piano or wherever else he could, drink straight scotch. Elvis had a little home for him out in the back, even air conditioned, But Richard, I said, "Well, whatever happened to Scatter?" He said, "I think the maid killed him."
Yeah.
And because one time, he scared her. I ran up her shoes, and the next morning that they found him and he was gone. But that's another story. Well, one time, it's not really funny, and then it has the elements of it, but, the reason that they had to get Scatter out of Bel Air, California, was that he ran next door, and there's a couple having a party there, and he came screaming and everything, and, people falling in the pool and everything, but it upset the wife of this fella so much that she miscarried, and so... But one time that he ran up into the president of MGM, his office, and he called out. He said, "Is this Elvis's chip?" He said, "Get him off the lot, or Elvis is gone."
Wreaking havoc everywhere he went. He was wreaking havoc.
Right. That's right. Elvis is kind of like me in a way because neither one of us can really tell jokes well, so he would do his best, and he would start a joke. Like one time, he was talking to the president of MGM, and he forgot the punchline, and he's like, "Oh, I'll tell it to you later," or whatever.
I love it. Well, I know you got to watch all of Elvis the Searcher. I only got to see maybe the first 30 minutes. I'm hoping to catch it later on. We've got it recorded, but I loved your review, and I shared it on our page, and of course it got all kinds of comments, and so I love that you have this unique perspective. I mean, you've probably made the best documentary that ever was about Elvis, and you had some interesting thoughts on The Searcher. So you want to share with everybody just kind of an overview of what you thought and what you felt? I think most people have seen it by now, so we don't have to worry about spoiling it for everybody.
Well, yeah, I'd like to preface it by saying that Priscilla and I have always gotten along. She's always been very nice to me all over the years when I do see her and so forth. But I, like anybody, was kind of taken in about rare footage, or, and so forth. And it was few and far between, so I was really disappointed. And I like Jerry Schilling, but I think that personally that they could have used more viewpoints besides just Jerry. I mean, I was happy that they used Sam Phillips and the late Chris Beard, who worked on Elvis's 68 special. He was a friend of mine. And they got Steve Bender, but you know, Bruce Springsteen and John Landau kind of helped save it, but they really didn't need any one of them either, because it's just more of star power, really. I mean, Bruce is a fan, of course, but I think that it has a little view of it's a little tunnel vision view. You know, they could have gotten other people that had known Elvis. I was very surprised that they didn't use some archival recordings of Joe Esposito or Charlie Hodge. You know, not using Joe or Charlie, and not using George Klein. Now, I know that, you know, and if George didn't do a new recording, they had plenty of audio of him. So, yeah, there's some footage, but not enough, you know, for the hype. And for someone that's a novice than seeing Elvis for the first time, like a story, it was good, but it left you wanting more at the end, because it kind of cuts off after the divorce in '73, and then just kind of says, well, yeah, Elvis did concert tours and da-da-da. It's like he didn't do anything of any great magnitude after, you know, the divorce, which is not true.
Typical.
Train her ride 16 coaches long. Train her ride 16 coaches long.
Don Wilson's going to do a song for us. Get ready, Don. Me and Tom will hold the fort down while you get over there. So again, doing a song from his current LP, CD, Don Wilson. Don, take it away.
That's from the Rockabilly Hall of Fame.
Rockabilly Hall of Fame. Don Wilson, take it away whenever you're ready, Don.
Don't call my name out your window, I'm leaving. I won't even turn my head. Don't send your kin folks give me no talking. I'll be gone like I said. You'd say the same old things you've been saying all along. Lay there in your bed, keep your mouth shut till I'm gone. Don't give me that old familiar crying, cuss and moan. Understand your man, tie your bad mouthing. Understand your man. Can give my other suit to the Salvation Army, and everything else I leave behind. I ain't taking nothing that'll slow down my traveling while I'm untangled in my mind. I ain't gonna repeat what I said anymore while I'm breathing air that ain't been breathed before. I'll be as gone as the wild goose in winter. Then you'll understand your man. Meditate on it. Understand your man. You hear me talking, honey? Understand your man. Remember what I told you? Understand
there you have it, our fantastic part 1 of our fantastic interview with none other than the amazing, dynamic Don Wilson. As you can see, talented in so many ways, a singer, recording artist. By the way, there's links. If you go to his website right now or after the show, Don Wilson's, don't forget the S at the end, Don Wilson's HollywoodBeat.com. Check it out for links to his CDs, which you can buy and have them shipped to your house anytime you want, 24 hours a day. The store is open. Go to Don's website for that. And then also, just in case you missed it, we were talking about how Don produced an amazing DVD documentary series that just encompassed so much. And sadly, it's no longer on the market, but that is something that he has started a Facebook page for. So if you'd like to learn more about the content that was on the DVDs, or maybe behind the scenes pictures or making of the DVDs, be sure to check out Don's new Facebook fan page for the, I should have wrote it down, the Definitive Elvis Collection on DVD. Check that out on Facebook. He just started the new Facebook page for the series on documentary. Since you can't get it anymore, you can still keep up with it on Facebook. And we do. We talk more about that in the second half. So I hope that you all will come back next week for our Facebook Live on Tuesdays. So many of you are so faithful coming back, for people from all over the world, and then watching it in replay, usually around 2,500 times. So we are so thrilled to have you. Don't forget to share the video, and also stay with me. If you would like to join me in about 5 minutes, I'm going to head over to facebook.com/PeterAldenFans and give everyone an update with what's going on with my co-host, the amazing Peter Alden. He has some events coming up here in town that I want to share with everybody, so we're going to do a live broadcast over there about those, and also reveal a special brand new super secret surprise about the cruise that you can join us on, that's coming up in April of 2019. So come join me right after this broadcast. We'll be at facebook.com/PeterAldenFans, and I even have a celebrity guest interview coming in for that one as well to be live on my speakerphone. So stay tuned for all that. Thank you so much, Elvis fans, for joining us here tonight on TCB Radio Network on Facebook Live. I want to thank all of the people who are responding in droves. Thank you so much to my brand new writing team that we are developing. I've gotten wonderful emails from people all over the world that are willing to give of their time and talent, and for no money, help me write Elvis blogs that we will be posting up on TCBRadioNetwork.com. So stay tuned for all of that. Some wonderful people with college degrees and professional writers. I'm just so overwhelmed with the response. And I can't wait to, I've just been really busy putting the show together, but tomorrow I should have time to catch up with everybody who replied to my cry for help. And you can do it too. If you'd like to write about Elvis and submit your stories and articles, we would love to have them. Just send me an email at tcbradionetwork@gmail.com, and we'll be putting together the writing team soon, and I'll be able to recognize them by name on the show. So thank you everybody for that, and be on the lookout for our fantastic stories and blogs and articles coming to TCB Radio Network. I know for a fact I've got one almost ready. We'll be posting it in the next few hours here. So thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to share the video. Tell your friends about us. Remember, we are carrying on Elvis's memory, his legacy, in the best way we possibly can, as a fan production without making any money. We do this out of the joy of our hearts. So thank you for being here with us and sharing the video. And we'll see you this time next week, 7:30 Eastern, every Tuesday on Facebook Live. Don't forget, you can catch the show on iTunes, new and improved. Head over to the podcast as well. We'll meet you there. Have a great week, everybody. You've been a beautiful audience, as Elvis used to say. Take care. Have a great night.